Welcome to today's demo of Cloud Director Service with Google Cloud VMware Engine. I am Michael Honeycutt, Senior Technical Product Manager at VMware. Topics covered in this demo are creating the provider networking, creating a Google Cloud VMware Engine, and creating a Jumphost for management access to Google Cloud VMware Engine. Some notes for this setup are: it is suggested to use the carrier grade NAT or CGN space using the 100.64.0.0/10 space, as this is the safest space to use as the provider. This will help ensure that the IP space used does not overlap with your tenant's private space in the RFC 1918 ranges. This demo consists of a provider project and a provider managed dedicated tenant GCP project, the latter which is required for each tenant that is configured. Before you can create a Google Cloud VMware Engine, you must have available nodes in your provider project quota in the same region you will create the Google Cloud VMware Engine. That is, if you intend to build with 4 nodes initially in US West, you must have 4 nodes currently available in US West to build it.
I'm going to begin by clicking on Select a Project and selecting the provider project, highlighted in yellow. In the left pane, I'm going to click the 3 horizontal bars and navigate to Network Services and Cloud DNS. And click Enable the API if it's not already enabled, which it is here. In the left pane, again, I'm going to click the 3 horizontal bars and scroll down and click on VMware Engine. And this will open a new browser tab, which I know is not shown in the demo. So I'm going to click on that tab and click on Enable API if it's not already enabled. Back in the other GCP tab, in the browser, click the bars again and navigate to VPC Network and VPC Networks. And we're going to click Create a VPC Network. For the name, we're going to name it something obvious, such as Provider Management Network. For the subnet name, I'm going to name it there to match the region. This is up to you which you want to name it. In the region, we want to select the same region that the project is in and that our VMware engine will be in. And then for the IP address range, again, this is going to be the first network out of the CGN network. You want to click I confirm this is not in an RFC 1918 range. We're going to enable private Google access, set the dynamic routing to global, and then change the MTU to 1500. And finally, we're going to click Create. And you can optionally copy this to the clipboard and save this for later if you would like the programmatic way to be able to create this. Once created, we're going to scroll down to the bottom and click into the name of the provider management network. Click on the private service connection tab and enable the API. Once this is enabled, which takes just a few seconds, we're going to click Allocate IP Range. We're going to name it the name Service Network. And for the IP range, we're going to use the next network in the CGN. Again, this is up to you how you carve it up. And then click Allocate. Now we're going to click the Private Connections to Services subtab. And click Create Connection. And then for the assigned allocation, we're going to click the drop down and select the service network that was just created and click Connect. Next, we're going to click on the VPC Network Peering tab and click Edit at the top. And then we're going to check the boxes for exchange custom routes, import, export custom routes, and click Save. Next, we're going to go back to the Private Cloud tab and click Create Private Cloud. For the private cloud name, enter a name that makes it easy to identify for you. For the location, set the same region that the project's going to reside in. Set the number of nodes you want. They must be available. And then we're going to set the vSAN range and the HCX deployment range, which are again out of the same CGN. And click Review and Create. And then click Create. This will take about an hour to finish. If you click on the vSphere Management Network tab, you will see a list of the FQDNs for vCenter, along with ESXi hosts and DNS servers, and NSX and IP addresses will show up eventually. We're going to create a jump host by going back into the provider project and clicking on Compute Engine and VM Instances. We're going to click on Create Instance. For the name, we're going to provide a name that's obvious, such as Jumphost. For the region, we're going to select the same region that we've been working with, which is Asia, Southeast 1. Then you can set a different zone if you desire. Click to change the disk type under boot disk. And we're going to select the OS as Windows. And then I would suggest using something other than Windows 2012, something more recent. I'm going to use Windows 2019 Data Center. And click Select. And then we're going to expand networking disks and security. Select networking. And under the network, we're going to select the drop-down and choose the provider management network. And then click Done. Click Create to create the VM instance. Again, you can copy the command if you would like the programmatic way to do this. Once the jump host is created, you can click into the host name. We're going to click Set Windows Password. Click Set. Note your username, which should be the first part of the username you logged into GCP with. And you want to copy the password here and save it for future use. Now we're going to navigate to VPC Network Firewall. Click Create Firewall Rule. We're going to provide a name for the RDPN. Change the network to the provider management network. I'll set the target to all instances, but you can change this to just the jump host. And then the range, we're going to set the default route quad 0/0. And then we're going to set TCP to port 3389 for RDP and click Create. We want to navigate back to the jump host. So we're going to go back to the compute engine. And for the RDP host, copy out the public IP address. Then you want to open an RDP session and connect to that public IP address. And then we're going to click More Choices and log in with the username and password that was previously noted. Once you verify, you can log into the jump host. Go back to the browser, and the next section is easier to do with two tabs open, one with the Google Cloud VMware engine and one with the GCP tab open to the provider project. On the Google Cloud VMware engine, you want to click on Network, and then click on Add Private Connection. We want to set the region to match the region the Google Cloud VMware engine will reside in. For the peer project ID, this will be the provider project name, which can be found back in the Other Browser tab by clicking on the Google Cloud Platform and then copying the project name. The peer project number will be the project number listed under the project name in the Other tab. Simply copy that and paste it in. And the peer VPC ID, this is going to be the name of the provider management network. Again, we can click back on VPC Network, go to VPC Networks, and scroll down and click into the provider management network name, and copy the name, and paste it in as the peer VPC ID for the tenant project ID. This is going to be the tenant project ID value, which we can find under VPC Network Peering. We're going to copy the project ID and paste it in, and then we want to verify the routing mode is set to global and click Submit. And once your Google Cloud VMware engine is up and running from the RDP, we should be able to ping the name of the vCenter. And again, this takes about an hour to complete.